Hi, welcome back. For today's class, we're going to focus on opening up the chest, shoulders, upper back, neck, but not through a more traditional way that we've done in the past. We're going to really focus on the mobility of the shoulders and strengthening rotation to help to open up our chest. Because, for example, if my shoulders live in this position, they sink onto the chest, they weigh on the chest, and then no matter how much I try to mobilize spine, this all stays, neck stays locked up, upper back stays locked, chest stays closed. So we're gonna see if by improving this, it then improves our ability to move our spine. So we'll go through a test before and after. I think you're gonna dig it. We're gonna begin seated. So I recommend sitting on a cushion for the beginning meditation. Sit with your legs crossed at the middle of the shins. Close your eyes. Take your awareness inward. First, let's ground ourselves in the body by paying attention to the physical sensations. So feel any stretch that you feel across your legs or your groins to sit like this. See if you can soften the tension in the groins. Feel your buttocks on your lift or your cushion. Can you sit evenly between your left and your right sit bone? Where is your weight right now? Do you tend to sit more on one sit bone than the other? And as you balance your weight and ground, can you feel how the spine adjusts? Maybe your body can release kinks and twists that it's been holding. Empty the jaw, empty the tongue, and let the eyes go soft and out of focus. Bring your awareness to your breath. Slow breath in through your nose. And slower, longer breath out. Ground yourself. Let the nerves calm. Set up your rhythmic breath for your practice. And if you feel comfortable to, you could join me chanting Om. You could just listen. Bring the palms together. Lower your head towards your heart. Release your hands to your thighs with the palms facing up. Gently lift the head. Open the eyes, but let the eyes be soft. Continue to look inward. Come into child's pose. And for this first child's pose, I recommend taking head support. So rest your forehead on your cushion, your bolster, or your block. Have your knees together and your arms back. Let your hip creases release back towards your heels, and let your breath start to open up your back ribs. So you could feel it if you try to take a big in-breath, it can feel all sticky and tight in your upper back. So see if you can start to release some of that tension to create more space for the breath. Then upright yourself, and you can sit in Vajrasana, Virasana. If it's gnarly on your knees, put a block underneath your butt. If it's still gnarly on your knees, just sit cross-legged or stand up on your knees rather. And we're gonna get a little mobility for the neck and T-spine, and then we're gonna see how much range of motion we have for the shoulders. And then we're gonna see, after having done everything at the end of class, if it's improved at all. So bring your hand to your heart, and as you soften your sternum in and down, Drop your chin to your chest. Roll your chin to your right shoulder. Side bend right ear to right shoulder. Roll your right ear back behind you. Both ears back. Drop your left ear over. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to collarbone and slide the chin back to center. Then go in reverse. Slide the chin to the left shoulder. Side bend. Roll your left ear back. Both ears back. Right ear back. Side bend to right shoulder. Chin to collarbone, scrape it to center. Bring your head up on top, and now cross your arms and we'll round through the thoracic spine. Twist to the right. Notice any limitation or tension. Side bend to your right. Roll your right shoulder back behind you. Roll both shoulders back. Tip the left shoulder back. Side bend to the left. Round to center. Change sides, twist to the left. Side bend to the left. Stay balanced on your sit bones. Roll the left shoulder back. Both shoulders back as the sit bones drop down. Lift up through your thoracic. Right shoulder back. Side bend. Round to center. Now take your arms to the side and externally rotate your right arm. So see how much you can turn the thumb side of the arm out and then take the arm across the midline. Raise the arm up overhead, maintaining the external rotation. Then start to internally rotate your arm as you take it out to the side, back behind you. And see how much extension you can get with the arm internally rotated. Then lower it down next to your hip. Lift it back behind you. Externally rotate your arm as you take it back behind you, out to the side, up and overhead. Reach for full external rotation. Then take it across the midline, back down in front. Change sides. Left arm externally rotate it. Take it across. Reach up and over. See how much flexion you can get, how much you can reach the arm. Then start to internally rotate as you move out to the side, back behind you. And notice how much extension you can get as you internally rotate. Lower your arm next to your hip, lift it back behind you. See how much extension you can get. And then start to externally rotate as you take it out to the side, up and overhead. And feel how much flexion and external rotation you have. Then take the arm across the midline, in front, and back to your side. All right, so we'll test and see if those things feel a little bit better at the end of class. From here, let's come into extended child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide enough for the ribs, stretch your arms forward. And if the head support helps you to lengthen the neck, you can do that again in this one. So we hold for 5 breaths. On your exhalation, feel your front ribs knit in and down towards your pelvis. And on your inhalation, lengthen through your hips, through your side ribs, through the reach of your fingers. Exhales to let the ribs draw back into position. And inhale to lengthen through your side body, ribs and fingers. Then come up onto your hands and your knees for cat-cow. Tuck your pelvis and round through your lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck. Arch through the lower back. Take the middle spine into extension, upper back, and neck. One more time, round through your low back, middle, upper back, and neck. And as you inhale, like a wave rolling up to the spine, roll through extension. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Press down through your hands, stretch forward through your toes. Shift into plank pose. Holding your plank, feel the heat starting to build as you press into your hands. Draw your rib cage in and lengthen through your spine as you reach to your inner heels. Slowly lower yourself down onto your belly. Slide your arms all the way forward as you reach back to your toes. And then bend your elbows out to the side in the cactus position. And we're gonna do a little specific exercise to help with the rotation of the upper arm bone. So you can make fist or press your hands down, but with your forehead down and your elbows lined up with your shoulders, I want you to try to rotate your upper arm bones and press your hands down into the floor from the rotation of your upper arm bones. So start to rotate down, and we'll start at 10% effort. Feel the hands are pressing, but from the rotation of the upper arm bone. 20% effort. 30%. Breathe into your belly. And now create tension through your whole body to help to press and rotate downward into the ground. See if you can go up to 40, 50%, pressing down without straining your neck or your jaw. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core. And hold for 5. Now slowly release that. And then as your elbows stay grounded, see if you can rotate the other way, externally rotate to lift the hands up off the ground. If you're already at your end range, you might not be able to rotate and lift the hands up. So just the effort to turn on those muscles that rotate and lift the arms, lift the hands from the rotation of the shoulder. Imagine I was pushing down into your hands and you're trying to push back up into me. Same way, we'll go up 10%, 20, work up to 40, 50. Then slowly release that effort. And now lift up into cobra position. Rotate the shoulder head and feel the blades come onto the back. Reach back through your toes. Lower your heart down and stretch back into downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Let your head drop down. Roll yourself up to stand. And stand tall in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Spread your arms out to the side. Externally rotate your arms. Turn the thumb side of the arm so that the palms face up. And then raise the arms all the way up and see if you can get more external rotation as the arms go up. Spread the arms out to the side and internally rotate as you fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into a plank position and lower slowly into chaturanga. Lower onto your belly and inhale into cobra. Slide your arms forward, reach through your toes. And now lift your arms up off the ground and pull your elbows back into cactus position. Squeeze in the back of the armpit, but keep the neck long. Then slide the hands next to your side ribs. Roll back up into cobra or upward facing dog. Stretch back into downward dog. Look in between your hands. Step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Press through your feet as you inhale, come up, externally rotate your arms as you reach up. Press down through your heels, inner and outer feet. Exhale, arms down at your side, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, make a flat back. Plant your hands and step back, plank position. Lower down slowly all the way onto your belly. Stretch your arms forward as your toes reach back. Now lift your hands up off the ground if you can. Keep your neck long. Turn the thumbs to point out. Keep your ribs in. Pull the arms back into cactus position. And now remember that action of rotating, externally rotating, trying to lift the arm up off the ground. Then internally rotate, press the hand down into the ground. And one more time, externally rotate. See if you can keep your rib cage in so your core is engaged. You're not just hinging from your spine to do it. Good. Pull the elbows into your side body. Plant your hands, lower your heart, and push up into plank pose. Stretch back into dog pose. One more time like that. Look between your hands. Step or float to the front. Nice, slow breath in to lengthen. Exhale, fold deeper. Root through your feet, and as you inhale, come up. Lengthen the tailbone down, eyes soft, ears soft. And release your arms down at your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a flat back. Plant your hands, step back into plank pose. This time we're going to add a little chaturanga push-up if you like. So lower slow, hover, and then press right back up. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale into cobra or up dog. Lower back down onto your belly and stretch your arms forward as you reach back through your toes. Now lift the hands up off the ground. Pull the arms back into cactus. See if you can rotate those upper arm bones so that the wrists come up higher away from the floor. Then squeeze your elbows into your side ribs. Plant the hands down. Lower your heart down and press back up into plank. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Raise your right leg up behind you as you inhale. Exhale the knee to the chest. Pull up. Step your foot up. Crescent lunge. Press through your right foot. Hug your right hip in and under. And then come up. So sorry for all the boring isometric holds at the beginning, but I hope that you felt like after having done those isometric holds that you had more, your brain had more of an ability to make the muscle connection to get it to move and to rotate. So that's one of the reasons that we're doing that, is to enhance the neurological pathway so that when I say try to rotate, you can actually feel it. I don't know if it helped you. So even here, the path of least resistance is to let the elbows flare out and the biceps turn down. See if you can roll your biceps back and up and then reach up. Bring your hands down to the mat, step back. Take a vinyasa or just stretch right back into down dog. Press down through your right inner foot as you raise your left leg after you finish your vinyasa, if you did your vinyasa. Sorry, I forget to wait sometimes. Pull your knee to your chest as you shift up in plank. Step your foot up to your thumb. Now push down through your left foot, hug your left hip in and under, crescent. Come on up. Rotate your biceps, reach up, and then come back to your steady, slow breath. Let your eyes soften. Let your inner ears soften. Breathe down through your central channel. Bring your hands down and step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or just stretch right back into down dog. Now in down dog, try to find the same rotation in your arms and press into your index finger knuckle at the same time, which is difficult. So there's a rotation from the forearm down into the index as the biceps turn up. Sun salute B, look forward, step or float up. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale to fold. Sit back into an imaginary chair. Pause there, buttocks low. Now scoop your navel up and take your arms forward. Let's hold. Plant down through your center of your heel. And then slowly start to raise your arms, keeping your ribs in. And we're gonna hold chair pose for 5 minutes. No, just 5 more breaths. Hold here. Try to lift up from your outer armpits. Stand and release your arms at your side. Let's put all those poses into a flow. Sun salutation B. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale to fold. Inhale into a flat back. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. From downward facing dog, step your right foot, warrior one, or you can do crescent. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one, or crescent. Exhale, go through the vinyasa, or just stretch right back to down dog. One more time, sun salute B, step or float to the front. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Stand, Samastiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot up to your right thumb. Inhale, come up into warrior one again. And open to your side for warrior two. Straighten your right leg for a moment and ground down from your left hip into your left foot, all four corners. Turn your right thigh out so your knee tracks with your second, third toe. And then slowly start to bend your right knee without your knee caving in. See if you can turn on the muscles in your outer hip and pull from your outer knee back to your outer hip so the knee doesn't track inward. Spread your arms and feel that your breath can move right down through the central channel. And also see if you could feel a balance between effort and release or relaxation. So there's the two energy channels running up and down the side of the spine, Ida and Pingala, or lunar and solar energy channels. And when we tend to be like go, 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 and throughout the work week particularly, you might be burning out your solar channel because you're relying all on that solar energy. And so when you can calm yourself and breathe, you allow the solar channel to be replenished by activating the lunar channel, or vice versa. Tip out over your leg and take your arm over. Extended side angle. So these channels are accessed through your breath. And when you breathe in a balanced way, you'll feel that they come more into balance. So even though you're just holding a static pose, heat is building, but if you can breathe calmly, it doesn't feel too intense, right? Maybe. So that's the goal of all of our yoga poses. If it's feeling way too gnarly, then it's really not coming well. Press into your feet and come back up. Take reverse warrior. Circle your hands to the mat and step back. Take a vinyasa or just go back to down dog. Step your left foot for warrior one. Inhale to come up. Open up to your side, warrior two. Oh, hey. Straighten your left leg, connect from your hip to your back foot. Turn your thigh so your knee is tracking. And then slowly start to bend your knee again. Feel your tailbone lengthen straight down, your rib cage in to your body, so it's aimed straight down to your pelvis as you stretch your arms. Release from the base of the back of the neck out through the fingers. And meditate on your breath and the sensations that you're feeling in your body. If you feel an area that feels real tight, see if your calming breath can help to soothe it. If the pose feels too intense, like there's too much heat building, again, see if your calming breath can help to bring you into balance. Then tip from your pelvis and go for a side angle, forearm to thigh or hand down onto a block. Reach down through your feet. Come back to warrior two. Reverse the warrior, flip your palm, inhale. Come back to warrior two, straighten your left leg, and now turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. So from the wide-legged position, Prasarita, if when you go to clasp your hands, your shoulders roll in, you'd be better off using a strap or a towel in between your hands so you can rotate. When you rotate, don't push your ribs out. Fold forward and feel that you're connected down to the four corners of your feet. Reach down through your feet and come back up. Keep the rotation and keep the clasp with your hands as you turn your left leg in slightly and your right leg out. Then tip from your pelvis out over your thigh, maintaining the rotation in your upper arms without projecting your middle, so keep your core in. Press down through the four corners of your right foot. Keep the rotation in your thigh. Reach through your tailbone towards your back heel. Stretch through your spine, through your crown the other direction. Breathe. Now, bend your right knee, and in one smooth step, can you come up to balance? Release the strap, put your right hand down, left arm up. You might feel a greater sense of ease through the transition when you open up your chest like that before going in. So accessing the pranavayu and creating opening there can help the energy channels throughout the whole body to work better. When your pranavayu chest center is closed down, things won't function as well. Reach to your back inner leg, reach to your foot. Now bend your right knee and let's slide back into modified side angle with the hand on the inside of the foot. Wrap your left arm behind your back for a half bind or a full bind. I'm just going to do the half today, all right? Release the bind, reach into your feet and come back up. Turn your toes in so your feet are parallel and clasp your hands again behind your back. Make sure whichever one you're doing, you can rotate without projecting the rib cage forward. Fold forward in between your legs again. Can kind of do it with the hands clasped, but not as well. So I'm gonna use a strap. Now see if you can get a little more passive extension, like if you could let the arms fall a little bit further. Don't force it. Now try to lock in that position of your arms. Don't let them come any closer to your butt. Press through your feet and come up to stand. Keep the arms that far away from your butt, and then slowly let your arms lower to your butt. Now find a little more external rotation, turn your right leg in, left leg out, and let's lean out over the left leg. So we did this in last week's class, and there was a lot of positive feedback on how it helped to open you up. So we're using this for the chest shoulder class. Press through your left foot through all four corners and turn the thigh. Now lengthen through your tail and lengthen through your crown in the other direction. Breathe through your nose. Bend your left knee. Open up your arms and step up. Stretch to your right inner leg and reach to the right inner foot. bend your left knee, and with control, slide into modified side angle. Left hand down on the inside, right arm up. Wrap the right arm, half bind or full bind, up to you. Release the bind, take your arm back up. Ground down through your left heel and come up. Veer two. Bring your hands to the mat and step back, vinyasa, or just go back to dog. Look between your hands. Step or hop to the top. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. Bring your right heel up for Vrikshasana, tree pose. And then we're gonna do Gomukhasana arms from tree. So take your left hand behind your back from under and the right arm from above. If you can bind fingers, go ahead and bind your fingers. If not, just pretend like you're binding and stretch your elbows in opposite directions. See if you can rotate your right tricep in towards your face more. So that's that external rotation action. And then stretch from the armpit to the elbow. Release that. And change legs. Bring the left heel up onto your right thigh. Slide your right hand from under and left arm from above. Reach the elbows in opposite directions. And then with your top arm, see if you can rotate the tricep in towards your face more. And then stretch from the armpit to the elbow. Squeeze your left heel into your thigh into your heel. And increase the length of your left inner leg from your groin to your knee. I mean, you can't really increase, but you know what I mean? Like, imagine you're increasing it. Uncross your arms and your legs. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. And then lift your heels up. Lower your buttocks down, squat down for crow pose or preparation for crow. Hold for 5 breaths. And then when you can't hold any longer, you can float back into chaturanga or just step back. Back to down dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale to reach up. Straighten your right leg. Bring your hands into reverse prayer. Press your knuckles together. Adjust your back foot a little closer if needed. And as you press into your right foot evenly, lean out over your leg. Lengthen all the way out over your leg. Interlock the hands and reach your knuckles up and over. keep the interlock as you come into a flat back. Now turn your chest as much as you can, maintaining the flat back. And then just set your left hand down onto your shin or a block and take your right arm up. Press into your feet and like a windmill, come up and around for the other side. Go hands behind your back again. And as you press down through the four corners of your left foot, start to lengthen out over your leg. Pause halfway. And then go forward and down. Make sure the whole spine participates evenly so that you don't turn into Quasimodo with the hunchback. Breathe through the middle spine, let it lengthen. Then clasp your hands behind your back or strap it up. Externally rotate as you reach over. Inhale, find the flat back. Then turn your rib cage. Stay steady in your feet. Press into your feet. Where's my block? Oh, geez, forget the block. Find the length as you rotate, and then just open up your arms, maintaining that rotation. Maybe once the bottom hand gets grounded, you can rotate a little more. I like this hand to press into something instead of just having it like hang out, because the press can actually help you to ground, which is important to help things to lengthen and go into the right place. Now press to your feet and like a windmill, come up and around. Step up to the front of your mat. Funky looking windmill. Lift your heels up, raise your arms up. Then take your arms forward, see if you can keep your heels up and sit your buttocks to knee height. If your knees are healthy enough to, lower the buttocks all the way down, drop it like it's hot, and then put your hands over onto the outside of your right leg. So you can practice squatting and twisting here. You can come back up and hang out in chair twist, or you can go into the arm balance, Parsvabhakasana. Pick the one you're going to hang out in. I'm going to do the chair twist today for 5 breaths. And fold forward. So if you're someone who's already completed the conscious movement course, you've gotten to the arm balance course, then you're ready to throw in those arm balances. If not, roll yourself up, lift your heels up, arms forward as you sit. Go to where you went on the other side. Doing this chair twist because I haven't finished the arm balance course yet. I'll let you know after I do. In your chair twist, draw your right knee back so it lines up with your left. Reach your sit bones back and reach through the back of the skull in the opposite direction. Also, some breathing is usually a good idea. Don't forget to do that. And fold forward, whichever one you're holding. Inhale, hands to shins, make a flat back or fingertips down. Exhale, fold deeper. Now take your feet hip socket distance apart, hook your big toes. Inhale into the flat back. Exhale to fold deeper. Bend your elbows, let your head drop. Release that. Slide your hands underneath your feet if possible. Release that, plant your hands and step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. All right, now let's practice the setup for Pincha Mayurasana. So this is a good one because we're gonna work on our external rotation, strengthening our external rotation into flexion. So we're just gonna give our shoulder a test first. Take your elbows out in front of you. And let me see if you can activate your external rotators to turn your humerus, the upper arm bone, so that your elbow is lined up with your wrist. So if you bring your arm up and it's stuck right here, you got some work to do. But if you can hold the elbow up in line with the shoulder and rotate until you have a line from your wrist to your elbow to your shoulder, then you're ready to be balancing in Pincha Mayurasana. If not, you're just gonna work on that action, and you can work on isometrics, like you can take yourself into a wall and decrease the angle a little bit and just work on pressing like that until it starts to get stronger. But if you have that line already, then you can practice it from dolphin. So let's ground the elbows and then rotate the upper arms and then seal the forearms down. So if it already feels like a lot of work in your shoulder girdle just to maintain that rotation and press your forearms, you're just gonna stay here and do that. If it feels easy, like you're like, I don't get this, what is hard about this? Then you'll lift your knees up an inch. If you can still maintain that rotation, press your forearms and hold the knees up an inch, then you'll lift the knees all the way up and come into down dog on your forearms. But if that arm rotates in at all, for today's work, we're just gonna focus on that. So if you can't lift the legs up without the arms rolling in, then don't. For solidarity's sake, I'm gonna hang here in the level 1 variation, pressing the forearms and rotating, creating strength in the external rotators. The most advanced students are welcome to go all the way up and balance, but if you lose this, I'd recommend regressing for today, just because that's what we're focusing on. You don't have to do it every time. Press the forearms, rotate, and hold. For 5, press those forearms, rotate, reach from your armpits and shoulders into your elbows. 3, 2, 1. Sit back into child's pose. Come back down from the inversion if you're in it. And if it was really working well, you should feel that there's some work in your shoulder and in your external rotators. They should feel fatigue from that if you're doing it well. If you already have like insane external rotation, like I could rotate it all the way to here, then maybe not. But quit showing off, all right? We get it. You're better than everybody. Relax for a few breaths. And then stretch back into downward dog. Step your right foot up to your thumb. Drop your back knee down. Hold here, letting the hips melt forward towards your heel, or add on and lift the hips up a little bit, reach back with your hand for your foot. So you can also work on opening up your shoulder in this position by turning the thumb up and taking the outside edge of the foot. And I'll just show you, the more I can externally rotate this arm, the more I'll be able to open up my chest and front of the shoulder. If this arm lives in internal rotation, then you can see how much more my chest is closed versus. So that was why you might have been like, well, what the hell? I thought we were opening up the heart and now he's doing all these like shoulder rotations things. What the hell does that have to do with opening up the heart? Now you know, release that and take half splits or full splits. I remember when my teacher taught a whole class on just rotating the shoulder more, and like we're working on rotating the shoulder more and doing it in up dog and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? I thought we were gonna work on back bends and opening up the chest. But then I understood 2 years later. It took me a long time. Breathe into your splits. Okay, step back in for vinyasa or just back to down dog. And change sides. Hang out in the lunge, letting the hips melt forward. If you're feeling an intense stretch, just to do this, I recommend hanging out here. But if you need to add on, then you can add on. With that back arm, we can work a little shoulder opener. If you rotate, oh yeah, I got that shoulder opener going. Now as you rotate and open up the chest, don't harden your middle forward. Can you wheel your rib cage back in and down? The wheels on the ribs go down and down. Down and down, all day long. Release that and take half splits or full splits. So as we work into these chest openers, we're gonna learn some different wheels in the body that need to work together to make sure we get in the opening in the right spot. All right, so we're gonna do our supported back bend now. So whatever you got at home, you can back bend over blocks. You can back bend in Supta Virasana. You can back bend over a cushion. You can lay over your foam roller and just open up your chest that way. I'm gonna be using the ball because this is really helpful. You could also, did I say couch cushion already? You could just lay back over a couch. Whatever kind of back bend support you can lay back over. But I want you to first notice the actions I'm gonna do. So I could just lay back like this, do lazy back bend, that's fine. But you'll notice that this part stays closed. Now, if I start to activate my wheels, and I wheel the buttocks towards the backs of the knees and wheel the front hip bones up, and then activate the rib wheel. The rib wheel is to wheel the front ribs down and wheel the back ribs up. So I got the pelvic wheel and the rib wheel. Now that I have that, let me see, oh, the head wheel too. I'm gonna wheel the back of the skull away from the shoulders, front of the skull towards the shoulders, and then I'm gonna see, let's see if I can now lean into the back bend. And then, oh yeah, now I feel the pull and stretch up in here. Oh dang. So all that tension that I hold underneath my collarbones and the front of my shoulders and the upper chest, that's all getting revealed as I go into this position. Okay, if you want to try it now, you can. It's not wrong to do it the other way, but we're gonna free up and really get movement where we don't have movement by hanging out in this passive stretch. We'll be able to increase our range of motion Once we can create a little bit of strength in it too. $30 on the clock. Keep wheeling your pelvis to the backs of your knees, wheel your front ribs down, and then see where you feel the pull or stretch sensation. You can stretch the arms out all the way if you like. And then try rolling the ball down your back a little bit so that the apex of the back bend is in your middle thoracic. We were in the upper thoracic before. Or whatever you're on, whatever you're laying over. Then bend your elbows and try reaching your arms overhead without the ribs doing all the work. So keep the ribs wheeling down, pelvis wheeling, skull wheel, or neck wheel, however you want to think of it. Open up underneath the collarbones. And then come back up. Okay, have a seat for a second. And we're just gonna see, after having done all the different rotational stuff, the strengthening, the arm variations, if we feel a little bit more freedom. So we're gonna do the thoracic spine. So round your chest, twist to your left and side bend. Oh my gosh, it's like butter now. Roll the left shoulder back. Both shoulders back as you lift into extension. Try to back bend the upper back more. To the right, side bend, round to center, and then change direction. Twist, side bend, feel how much more movement you got there. Right shoulder back, both shoulders back, lift up in extension. Over to the left, side bend, and round to center. Okay, now let's do a couple active back bends on your belly. Clasp your hands behind your back or your strap or your towel and go up for 5 breaths. Lift the shoulders, head, chest, legs up off the mat. Lower yourself down and rest one cheek on the mat. Stretch your arms forward. Wheel your rib cage into position as you bend your right knee, and then see if you can reach back and take a hold of your foot. Move the buttock down, out of your lower back, front ribs roll down, so activate all your wheels again. Then change legs, right arm forward as you bend your left knee. Repeat doing one side and then the other, or if you can reach back and take both feet, find your wheels again, pelvic wheel, rib wheel, neck wheel, and then reach the shins up and back to deepen the stretch. If it's too gnarly on your back, just repeat the single leg. Lower yourself down and rest the other cheek. Roll up into upward facing dog, but before you do, remember that rotation of your upper arm bones. So turn the skin of the armpit forward and roll the skin of the outer shoulder back. Then release that. Stretch into down dog or child's pose. Lie on your back. And on your back, gently hug your right knee into your chest as you stretch your left leg out. Change legs. Hug the left knee in as you stretch your right leg out. Bring both knees in and curl up to your knees. So I want you to tuck your hips up towards the ceiling like you're trying to curl the tail up, and then hug the fronts of your ribs in and down. Now stretch your arms forward. Keep everything tucked in. Now we're going to see, can you raise your arms up keeping the front ribs tucked in? Can you squeeze the front of the pelvis towards the ribs? Can you maintain that and take one leg into table? Keep it all tucked in here. Can you maintain and take both legs into table? Can you stretch one leg forward halfway, still keeping it hollowed in here tight? Can you stretch the other leg? Maybe both. Maybe you can take one arm back, maybe both arms back. Maybe you can straighten one leg out, both legs out. Keep the tail tucked, keep the ribs in. Come back to starting position. One more time. Curl up, arms forward. Tuck the tail up, hug the ribs. Can you take the arms up? Go towards where you want on the other side. I'm not going to walk through all that stuff again. It's too much. Release that. Then open up your arms to the side for a little supine twist. Oh, actually, let's hug a knee in. We'll do a different variation. Hug a knee in. And then take either a block or a foam roller. Open your right arm out to the side and let your right knee go over onto your block or foam roller. Come back to center. Change sides. Back to center, hug your knees in and roll up. Sit with your legs crossed. Twist to your right. And then as you're twisting to your right, lean your left ear over to your left shoulder. And feel a stretch through the right side of the neck, down through the shoulder, out through the fingers. Bring your head back up on top. Come back to center and twist to the left. And then lean your right ear to your right shoulder. And feel length through the left side of the neck, down through the shoulder, down through the fingers. Head back up. Come back to center. And then we're going to fold forward down the middle and use head support for our final pose here to open up the hips and the upper back. And then we're going to do a little twisted version. So as you go forward, then walk your hands. If your left shin is forward, you're going to walk your hands to the left. If your right shin is forward, you'll walk to the right. So we're going to open up through the lat and the upper back, through this side bended, twisted position, and then let your forehead drop down. You might even need 2 blocks so that you can feel a release in your neck at the same time. You might even need a chair. So just take enough support so it feels comfortable. Remember in child's pose when we were letting the back ribs open up? Still look for that same sensation. Come back up. Change sides. Oh, that felt nice. Slow, steady breathing. Come back up. Stretch both legs out and reach for Paschimottanasana. Hold there, take plow or shoulder stand. Then lie on your back for Shavasana. Empty the hands and the feet. Let go of the tension in your legs and your arms. Let the groins and the hips soften. Let your abdominals and your back muscles relax. Relax the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, and the tongue. Let go of what you're still trying to control. Gently bend your knees. Roll to your side. Press yourself up to seated. Sit for a moment with your palms together. Notice how your body feels. Maybe you feel refreshed, renewed, a little lighter. Thank you. Namaste. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for today's class. Sorry Ollie was hiding the whole time. Ollie, where are you? I don't know where he is. But if you enjoyed the class and you felt that your shoulders moved better, that your spine moved a little bit better, that you got into better extension and could feel the back bend moving where you want it to move, let me know. I love hearing back from you. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.